Good morning. Welcome to Live with Liz. I am using new technology this morning, and so I just want to know if anyone out there can hear me. It would be useful if you said yes. Um, or maybe nobody's watching, or I just can't see your comments because I have no idea if you can hear me. So I'm just going to keep talking and hope for the best. Um, Happy World IP Day, which technically was yesterday. April 26th is the date that marks World IP Day every year. It was a date that was decided upon eons ago, I say this decades ago, at a WIPO convention. And it was something that was meant to bring together the business and legal communities around intellectual property. And obviously, this is something that is important for IP firms, but also it is something that extends to other practice areas. It extends to the greater community. It extends to the academic community, to every industry basically that's out there. Innovators and creators around the world are interested in it. Government agencies mark the occasion. And so this is a very important day for law firms that practice in IP, but also for anyone interested in intellectual property and its importance in economic growth, in really just creating new innovation and inventions everywhere and all around. This is something that we can really celebrate. World IP Day. So, to mark the occasion, law firms often have announcements, social media campaigns, actual events that they host. There are, I don't know, maybe 1,000 webinars that I've seen about World IP Day. Lots of invitations go out. And one of the greatest things about World IP Day is that even though we mark it officially on April 26th, it can really be celebrated throughout the season and throughout the year. WIPO announces a theme fairly early on in the year so that the people in the greater IP community or anyone interested in it can really participate and celebrate that theme throughout the year. That's the intention. So you're not limited to April 26th just because that happens to be the official day, but it is pretty exciting to see all the buzz around it. And one of the things that I love about an occasion like this for law firms and promotion is that you really get the chance to engage with a broader community. You have this opportunity to take advantage of all of this content, excitement, conversation, and connect with your clients, with potential clients, an opportunity to promote your firm and your services. And you can do it very economically because it's something that's being talked about by everyone, right? So you get to really leverage that conversation and be a part of it without having to put too much effort into it. And you get so much more visibility when it's something that affects everyone, when it's something that everyone's talking about. And obviously, these types of occasions are not limited to just World IP Day. There are, of course, holiday celebrations and business things. Good morning, Mariana. It's great to see you here. I want to catch up with you later. I can't forget. So World IP Day, though, is kind of exciting to see what different law firms are doing and how people are promoting services. So, like I said, 1,000 webinar invitations. Maybe that's not the best way to mark the occasion at this point because that overwhelm is real. But I've seen something that I want to share with you that I think is a good idea, that is the branding of some sort of activity or an event around World IP Day or other occasions where you can mark something annually. And one of the things that I think is very effective for this particular event is if your firm does anything community related, like a scholarship or something to educate, this is a great opportunity to do that where you can actually do something in line with a theme perhaps, or have something every year where you say, our firm is going to award our annual scholarship to one student, or however many students you want to select to grant this award to. But that kind of thing feels good with the community. And when the community is already talking about it, you get so much more attention on the effort that you're making. So you get this kind of exponential visibility from being able to do something in line with what the community is doing. That's the reason that you want to take advantage of something like this at the time that it's happening. Now, World IP Day is from the World Intellectual Property Organization. Originally, WIPO makes it incredibly easy for you to plan something and to do something, even without a lot of resources, even without a lot of thought put into it, although a little goes a long way sometimes. They actually provide you with a marketing package, and that theme is announced pretty early on in the year. So the theme this year, I think it's IP, innovation, and youth, which is broad. Often they're broad. I think last year it was small to mid-sized enterprises. So there was a business focus. But with the theme coming out so early in the year, you have a chance to actually take advantage of that conversation throughout the year and to be able to celebrate this idea or this concept or your own efforts and events. And, maybe you have a podcast, maybe you're going to write a blog, or maybe you're going to do a campaign to promote things throughout the year. When the theme is announced, you can have a social media campaign around that. You might have some people author some content around that, and then really promote whatever kind of event you have. And the other thing I love about events like this, and it's again, not just for World IP Day, but there are a lot of opportunities around major events happening in the world for you to be able to take advantage and do something. But one of the greatest things is you can basically do whatever you want. It's not in line where they kind of dictate to you and say, no, this is how you celebrate. This is how you mark the occasion. This is what we expect from each member firm or something. No, this is for the greater good. And I say you can do whatever you want. Obviously, there are a few limitations. Maybe they're financial, maybe they're regulatory, laws of physics, those sorts of things. But mm, coffee, everybody should get some coffee. Mm. But this is the kind of thing where you can really choose how you want to promote your firm, what's important at your firm to get the message across about your legal services, about who you are, and doing something in line with the community has this very positive feeling about it. You get a chance to story tell, you get a chance to be in front of a community in a more friendly way, in an approachable way. So that feels good, not just for society and for community, but for business too, because we do see this really massive effort for business, the shift that's been going on for probably more than a decade now, but with new generations really becoming part of the business community that are focused on doing good, doing better by doing good, bringing, you know, a conscious effort to what we're doing with society as businesses, and in this case as law firms. What are you doing that is socially responsible? What are you doing that helps people? And that makes me want to work with you. I want to work with a firm that gives a scholarship out for World IP Day, because I think it's just a feel good thing, but also it shows me that they care about the communities where they are. They care about intellectual property in this case. They care about the things that I care about. So when we can have a chance to take advantage of those shared values and have a chance to showcase those values while we're selling our legal services, it makes them more sellable. It makes you more relatable. And that's really what we can take advantage of when it comes to these kinds of events. Um, so you can do whatever you want. So if you want to, well, if you're not on lockdown, right? If you want to host an event every year, this is a great time to do it. We also saw this all throughout the celebration of women, and so International Women's Day. It's another one of those opportunities to be able to do basically whatever you want to promote the cause, to raise awareness, and to support your community, while at the same time deciding that you're going to be able to promote your legal services and showcase who you are and what you're all about. So I noticed for World IP Day, so many different events this year, but even just taking advantage of the ones that are happening that you're not organizing is a way to be a part of the conversation. So WIPO, for example, held a video contest for innovators. Very interesting to go see the videos that are being generated, to be a part of it. Maybe it doesn't seem particularly relevant to your law firm or your legal services, but if there's a way to make that connection and to see what's important, and maybe even to promote somebody local, what a great way to be involved, right? I think it just really is. Um, but that's another example of some way for you to communicate, for you to participate without having to put a lot into it. Now, I've also seen some firms that really put a lot of effort into it, that put together a video campaign saying what World IP Day means to them, or a campaign on social media where they're giving quotes and kind of a rundown of their team. And this is also visibility of your team. It's not necessarily an event. You're not spending a lot of money necessarily, but you're getting that visibility anyway with something as simple as showcasing what you're all about and how you connect to this thing that's happening in the world. How do you connect to this thing that's happening in the world? In our IP world, one of our biggest events is happening next week. I talk about it a lot because I'm very excited about it, because I just want to see people and hug them for a very long time, maybe even strangers. So look out. Just kidding. No, I'm not kidding. The International Trademark Association is having its annual event. It's the annual meeting Live Plus, so people can participate still virtually if you need to, if you're far away, if you can't get there, if there's, I don't know, some sort of global pandemic in the way stopping you, then you can still kind of be there in spirit. And um, I am very excited, though, to be in person with all of these people. And they ended up having over 6,500 people register in person. Okay, I guess I'm a little scared about that too, but more excited than scared. And this is another type of event, kind of almost like World IP Day is an event, and International Women's Day. There's the International Trademark Association Conference. So if there is an event in your practice area, the industries you serve, I can think of some really major ones because we track these events all over the year. These are also opportunities for you to create some sort of consistency or conversation or participation where there's already content and a conversation happening around this event, that you didn't have to create this big environment or big audience. You can already be a part of it. So if you're in oil and gas, maybe it's the OTC. If you are in technology, maybe it's that big event in Las Vegas, that CES event that has all the consumer products that come out every year. Um, and that there's this shroud of secrecy around, because you actually have to be in the industry to be able to go. Then there are, all sorts of other ones for law firms. The International Bar Association has events. There are events all year long that you could do something similar, where you highlight all of the ways that you are participating, that you are present. If there's content around that event, like the theme for World IP Day, or some sort of programming that's important, you could also generate some content around that and have your professionals create blog posts or articles or a podcast or an interview or Q&A that says, this is how we're participating with this event, and this is the content that's important to us, and this is why. And and then you actually just get the benefit of having that greater audience already there that you didn't have to create. And that audience, if you're using these events in a targeted way, is the audience that you need. These are your clients, your potential clients, the industries that matter to you, the influencers around that industry. So maybe you're not particularly invested in the academic community, but the academic community feeds the industries you serve. Think about it in kind of this triangular, even circular relationship style, where you say, okay, I'm going to participate in this. I'm going to do something for World IP Day because I know those kids are important to the business community that's part of my clients and my circle of influence that matters to my business. So that's why something like World IP Day is exciting for me. And I would love to hear what your firm is doing or what you are doing to mark the occasion. I might already know because I stalk like all of you 10 people who watch me online daily. Well, okay, maybe not daily, but you get the idea. But I would still love to hear from you. Let me know what you're doing. If you're going to be in Washington, D.C. next week, I was really late to the game in setting my schedule, so I actually have a bit of availability left if you want to catch up. Obviously, I'm an avid coffee drinker, so be happy to do that with you. Anyway, thank you for joining me on Live with Liz. And next week, I think we'll be off because of the travel. Thank you so much. But we'll be back here again most Wednesdays. I stopped saying every Wednesday. I'm going to say most Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Houston time. And that's it for Live with Liz. See you next time. Take care, everybody.